Chris,
Richard,
what's coming up this week?
well, nothing less than the first half of my interview with Sarah Cronin from Talking Pictures TV.
I'm sure some Gerry Anderson news will be coming up with Jamie Anderson.
And I'm certain we'll be hearing from those pesky podsterons.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson, Richard James and Chris Dale.
Here we are again.
Happy as can be.
Now, I don't know about either of you, but I've done this 350 times.
Well, I've done it 349 times.
This is my third time.
Such a baby, isn't
Oh,
it?
one less than 1% of you guys.
Yeah.
He's learning.
Yeah. Welcome to the Gerry Anderson Podcast. It's your and our opportunity to celebrate all the legacy and ongoing legacy of the Gerry Anderson universe, really, because as we know every week, we say this, there's new stuff happening in the Gerry Anderson universe right now.
Well, you say we say that every week, but I haven't heard that phrase for quite a few weeks
It's
now.
true. Books, audio,
Blu-rays,
stories,
DVDs.
I mean, it's all out there, isn't it? What's the favourite piece of what's your favourite piece of Gerry Anderson merch that you might own, Ross?
Well, more recently, I'm very fortunate because I film lots of the adverts for all of these things.
yes.
So I get sent them before everybody else. And I have to say, I've developed a bit of an attachment to the Eagles.
Oh yeah, have you?
Oh,
Good little range.
They're
there.
rather special, aren't they?
I
nice
just
little set.
noticed that this isn't the eagle that's on the desk every single week.
Ta-da!
It's not the rescue eagle, it's the pallet eagle,
There you go. That's
which has
surprising, isn't
the
it?
little nuclear waste canisters.
Chris
in
will be
there.
playing with that later. What's your
have
favourite
not
piece of
noticed.
merch, Chris?
My favourite piece of merch? Well... I'm assuming I can't count this piece here. No, my favourite is, we don't have any here today, the comic anthologies, reprints of the wonderful TV21 comic strips and Look In and so forth.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful series of volumes, just collecting all these wonderful stories from years gone by. And Stingray Volume 2 is out now, and it contains so much stuff that I have never read, from the end of TV21 through to the 80s and 90s, and of course new strips that have been created especially for it. So yeah, comic strip anthologies all the way.
Now, this podcast premieres on a Sunday night on YouTube, as you know.
What's your
It's
favourite?
Five Star 5 book trilogy, of course.
Oh, right.
And we have comments beneath our YouTube videos. For example,
do.
under 346, which featured an episode of Supercar, if you remember.
Supercar.
Craig Light Owler says, I'm confused. Was the supercar flying along the motorway or driving? And if driving, how was it struggling to perform car functionality if it's a car? Do you remember that scene?
I do, very vividly, yes.
So was it flying or was it driving?
Well, no, it was driving because the wings have been sabotaged, hadn't they? By
But then-
naughty old Harper and Judd.
Okay, and that would
Yeah.
affect its
Yeah.
performance as a car, really,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
because it was going very, very fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to that.
Ross, do you want to read the second one there?
Absolutely. This one's from Simon Frisbee. I like Supercar. It's nice comfort viewing. Granted, though I wouldn't watch it for an adrenaline rush.
No.
I think that's probably
I think we
fair
probably
to
agree with
say.
that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Fun as
But not
as it
everything
was.
needs to be an adrenaline rush. It's
True.
It's characters and dialogue and monkeys.
Yes. And a final comment for you there,
A
Chris.
final comment from Mystery at Midnight, Gerry Hughes, who says...
Sorry, I think he's given the mystery away a bit there by putting his name in
Yes,
his handle.
it's the elusive
Yeah.
Gerry Hughes.
Yes.
Any chance of Supercar coming to Talking Pictures TV?
Ah.
Well,
timely.
it just so happens that I'll be chatting to Sarah Cronin from Talking Pictures later on, and I've got badges here.
You have, I can see, yes.
And I think we might ask her about that,
Okay.
Supercar in particular, and
Great.
everything else.
Yeah. Yes, the first part of Chris Dale's interview with Sarah Cronin from Talking Pictures TV is coming up, along with an episode from the Randomiser. We don't know what it'll be because it's random.
No idea.
So we'll ask Sarah to press the big red button and see what we get this week. But until we get there, is he by a pool or is he in the bar, do you think?
He
Let's
might
find
be
out.
working, but
He's in the bar, come
he's
on.
in the bar.
He's in the bar. Let's have some Gerry Anderson news.
For this week's Gerry Anderson Newsy News. I'm joined by some Ewesy Ewes. Anyway, I'm out with the sheep today. There's only one really big news thing this week, and that has clearly been the Thunderbirds Blu-ray. I'm very excited about this. You've been asking for it for years and years, and after many years of negotiation with ITV and our friends there, particularly thanks to Kevin Morgan and Christina Lima, we've managed to make it happen. You are going to be getting a 4:3 Blu-ray of Thunderbirds with the 3 anniversary episodes and a whole load of new extra features and a whole load of old extra features as well. And it's going to be the big... Oh, excuse me. Hello from another you. It's going to be a very exciting time. I hope you can't hear, but she's having a wee now, which is not very helpful. We also mentioned in the press release that we have a bunch of 4K releases coming as well. Now those were going to be announced separately in due course. The new license covers Thunderbirds, Space 1999, Captain Scarlet and others. And so we will be working on those over the next months and years. Now these restorations take a really long time. A really, really long time. And a lot of effort and a lot of money. So it's not going to happen all at once, but certainly Thunderbirds Blu-ray you can expect later this year. There's going to be some other treats and surprises on the way in due course. And I really can't wait. I guess the next thing for me is, what do you want to see? What will be your next favourite things if we're going to do these releases? Are you desperate for the Secret Service in HD, or are you desperate for a Crossroads to Climb Blu-ray? Well, sadly, that will be outside of the remit of an ITV license, so that isn't going to happen. But let us know. Email podcast@gerryanderson.com. There's other stuff going on, but I think the Blu-ray news is enough excitement for 1 year. So, for one episode, rather, not for 1 year. Thunderbirds Blu-ray, 4:3. Lovely, beautiful HD. None of that crop nonsense anymore. So I'm very excited. That's the end of this week's Gerry Anderson News.
Thank you, Jamie. Ross is playing already.
What have you got here?
I got a bit too excited and I couldn't resist.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yes.
You can see there.
Ah.
It's very, very see-through.
I see.
Perfect for placing your nuclear waste canisters.
Now, when I was free with the model, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yes.
When I was filming the advert for this, I wasn't actually sure how they went in there. Do you do it as a 4?
Yeah.
Do you do it in a line like this?
Yeah.
Turns out I think this is the correct way, because that's how it is on the box. But I imagine you can do it however you choose.
Yeah.
However you choose
Amazing.
to run your moon base.
Amazing. Is it cheaper because it's got a big hole in the middle?
Well, no, Richard, because it's doing an important job of carrying
of
nuclear waste to the dumps.
That's right. Yeah, that's the Planet Eagle. Look, it also
me.
comes with a wonderful certificate of authenticity.
Nice.
Individually
I'm quite
numbered.
about this one because I've got a selection of Eagles from, I think, Product Enterprises did them back in the day, but they never did that version, so I'm going to get one of those.
It's only seen very, very briefly in Breakaway.
Yes.
Pretty much
the
right at the
isn't it?
beginning. Yeah. And even then, it's not the clearest of shots of seeing it. So it's quite interesting to see it in a sort of new light.
Amazing.
Yes.
And available to pre-order now. So head on over to gerryanderson.com.
And if it's not, it's Jamie's fault, not ours.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I think it's about time that we heard from someone else, don't you?
Someone else.
Someone who has great experience in the world of broadcast TV, great experience in bringing the worlds of Gerry Anderson to a larger viewership.
Yes.
Who might that be, Chris?
Well, this is Sarah Cronin from Talking Pictures TV. Talking Pictures is a channel that's been running for 10 years now, 10 years in May. And Sarah co-runs that with her father, Noel, who's been collecting so much old film over the years. And he went to various channels, asked them to put it on. They said no, so he set up his own channel.
Amazing.
As you do.
Yeah.
And it's still going strong and it's very popular. And we're going to hear some stories from Sarah right now. Well, how wonderful to welcome to the Gerry Anderson podcast, Sarah Cronin.
Oh, thank you.
You are the I want to say runner of Talking Pictures TV, the wonderful film channel that I believe celebrates its 10th anniversary this year.
Coming up in May,
Yeah, which is just, I mean, did you ever think when you first started
No.
out that you would, no, definitely not.
No, not a clue. Not a clue.
It's amazing that it has not only lasted so long, but thrived compared to where it was at the beginning. And of course, we know from the many comments and questions that we have in our Space 1999 lunchbox that a lot of our viewers are very excited and very happy that your channel shows such old Anderson series as you've had Fireball XL5, Thunderbirds, Stingray, Captain Scarlet. You even show Crossroads to Crime, which is, and there's another film that Gerry Anderson was the, I think, sound recordist on, Devil Girl from Mars.
Oh, best film
I
ever.
know, right? Yes,
I'd love that costume. I'd love her legs, but
yes,
the
that's
costume's
quite
great.
an iconic image. Yes, but so there will be a large majority of our audience who know what Talking Pictures is, watch it every week, but there will be some in our audience who don't know what the channel is. So
How rude.
I know. So I think to get them into the loop, we're going to play a quick clip from, I believe this was on CBS. Was it last year?
God, really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Nestled in the English countryside is the unlikely headquarters of one of the UK's top-growing TV channels.
Hello, renowned Talking Pictures.
Talking Pictures.
So this is where it all happens. And this is a little shed at the bottom of the garden.
Yep.
Yeah.
TV shows and movies. Famous detectives.
Smugglers never sleep.
Epic adventures.
Might get drunk and have a good time.
And early science fiction from decades ago to millions of viewers across the UK. But if you think looking backwards is bad for business,
Jeepers.
think again.
A monster meteorite, and it's coming straight for us.
Talking Pictures launched on linear TV in 2015 and has grown to be one of the biggest independent channels in Britain. About 4 million people tune in a month, many of whom are older.
You've tapped into this demographic of people that, do you think
Who's
it was
that?
sort of underserved or underappreciated?
Yeah, TV forgot about them, 100%. You know, our audience, they don't want to know about who's on a beach in a bikini snogging who. You know, what do they care? You know, they want
remember.
Neither does our audience, luckily.
good drama. And, you know, and I think that's something we did really well in the 50s and 60s.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that Talking Pictures does so well, is bringing up things that I gather that it all started with this collection of films that your dad has, and he would take them to channels and they would say, we're not
both
interested.
did, yeah, I mean, we couldn't have launched Talking Pictures without that, because content is key.
Yeah.
And it's also very expensive. So, yeah, we were really, really fortunate that we built this archive up over the years, and we used to distribute it to all the main channels as their afternoon black and white film. And then it all stopped. And the biggest disappointment was poor Dad, who's 77 now, he won't mind you knowing that, had nothing to watch on telly.
Oh.
That's why we launched Talking Pictures.
Oh, well.
Just so he had some telly to watch.
And now he's got a plethora of, you have films being sent into the channel, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Some
That's
points.
particularly for the Footage Detectives, his show that I make with him and Mike Reed every Sunday at 5. Yeah, the audiences send in reels of film that they found in their loft, which could be, I mean, inevitably we get 800 reels of a baby on a blanket or a picnic on the beach, so we do have to filter them. But quite often we find some gems, and we found a lot of lost telly and lost film, which has been a massive triumph for us, as we're all about saving celluloid. So that's been really cool. But yes, we license films as well, films and series from the various copyright owners, and battle with them on price and how long we can have it for and how many plays we're allowed. And it became very clear quite early on in the process that if you play a film twice in a month, you get told you're full of repeats.
Ah, yes.
And so we worked out quite quickly that we were going to burn through, even though we own the Southern TV libraries, where we don't own Wurzel, sadly, we had to buy that. But we thought we'd have enough content for sort of a year, and it turned out to be a couple of months before Dad and I were going, right, so how are we going to do this then?
But then I know you also get people saying, oh, I missed such and such. It's like, it's kind of one of the things that's nice to rely on. You know, if you've missed a film, chances are it will be on
eventually
within the next 3 months, potentially.
Yeah, eventually.
So it really just started with your dad's got all these films.
Yeah.
Let's start our own channel and see what happens.
Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Because we're not broadcasters. I mean, I was a runner to start with, as in on films, not athletically, I hasten to add. And then, I worked my way up through telly and did directing and producing. I was an actress as well for a long time. You may have seen me in Mud with Russell Brand. And Russell Tovey.
90s children's show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I did used to watch Mud. Yeah.
Did you?
It's one of those things that I remember I watched
Julia.
because it was on. But
yeah. It was a great time in my life. terrific fun to make. Susie Blake I adore, she was fabulous, and Victoria Wicks, who I love from Drop the Dead Donkey anyway, so... and a whole host of stars. I digress. What were we talking about?
Oh, just the origins of the channel itself, how we got it going.
So we went everywhere and said, look, we've got this concept for a channel that predominantly plays black and white films and series, and all the media bigwigs told us we were absolutely bonkers and we're years too late and nobody wants to watch black and white telly anymore. We've all got colour tellies. What do we want to watch that for? So we did it ourselves.
And were you surprised by the sort of response to it? How long did it take for a sort of response to filter through?
Well, you'd laugh. So every night you get overnights, which gives you your barb data for who's watched what. And so for about 2 weeks, Dad and I were desperately waking up early to get the overnight to see how many... And it'd be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, well, 1 is not good.
No.
And it did take a while. But we were really fortunate, actually. Danny Baker and Vic Reeves found us and started shouting about us, and both did really big pieces in the Radio Times, which we could never, ever have hoped for.
Yeah.
And then Radio Times became our friend as well. And the rest is history, yeah.
So among the channel's output currently are many of the classic Anderson shows, as we've said. But we'd like to test your knowledge on all of the Anderson shows. We'd like to play a little game called Super Identification, in which we play you clips, very short clips, from all 18 of Gerry Anderson's shows.
Okay.
Just to see how many you can identify.
Okay.
Now, you should be safe for the 4 of your channel shows,
You would
at least.
hope,
we would
wouldn't you?
hope so, yes. But let's see how you get on. So we're starting in 1957 with The Adventures of...
Twizzle.
Perfect,
Easy one,
there we
easy
go.
one to start.
Oh, well, if that one's easy. Twizzle was followed by The Adventures of...
Space Control.
No, that was Torchy.
Oh, Torchy the Battery
Yes.
Boy, of course.
And then hopefully you will know this.
Was a vice man.
Stand by for action.
Easy.
Easy.
I'm just singing the theme
Yeah,
tune,
well,
sorry.
that's fine. We're on 4 here. Now, who's that?
Oh, I didn't... Scarlet, wasn't it?
That was it, yeah. So now we're into the live action in the 70s.
Oh, Protectors.
Close.
Protectors.
Protectors, yeah.
Oh, it's quick, isn't it?
It is very quick, yes. So we're well into the 80s now. 90s. That was Space Precinct.
Place of legend. Fable.
Oh, Castle. The Lavender Castle.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And the last one, that's the CGI remake of Captain Scarlet from
Oh, the
2005.
new one.
New Captain Scarlet, that's right.
I don't like remakes.
Ah, well, I can be indifferent, but I do like that one quite a lot.
Good.
Well, Sarah Cronin, I believe at the end of that one, let's just check with the independent fact checkers, you got 6.
Okay, but
I make it 7.
It did go very fast,
It
in
did
my
go very
defence.
fast, yeah. So I'm going to give you the 7. That is on your little figure of you right there, which we will add to our roster of
Lovely.
previous contestants in the
I think
upcoming
I'm about
weeks.
12 in that photo. Yeah, that's a little long time ago.
Ah, we don't mind. So, what's your sort of personal involvement with the channel? What's like a typical day for you when you're not coming to Slough to talk to us about this?
Well, Dad and I do pretty much everything, I'm not going to lie. We're both control freaks, so plus we haven't got extensive budgets to get elves in to help us. So everything really. We answer the phone, so viewers ring constantly to tell us what they like, what they don't like, why we're not playing such and such at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
And we answer the phone, obviously. We Renowned Pictures, our sister company, which we run as well, sells products and merchandise and stuff. So we do get calls about that.
I have a lot of them at home.
Oh, thank you. All helps.
Yeah.
All helps. We do events, so there's ticket sales constantly every day for various events that we're doing around the country.
Yes, quite recently you did, was it an afternoon with William Gaunt?
Oh, I love William.
And you got one with, is it Susan Hampshire in a few weeks' time?
Next week I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, not this weekend, next weekend. We could be filming, although we try and do that at the weekends. We film our not live, but our own production shows. We'll be doing schedules, so every day is properly curated. We don't use software at all.
No.
It's all pen and paper and worked out what, if we've got a bit of sci-fi in the morning, we'll have a bit of romantic drama in the afternoon,
And it's all on cards, isn't it? I saw on that CBS clip that we
Dad
looked
has
at earlier.
his own special system, and then I put all the filler in to make the slots work. You'll notice a lot of channels just bung the same thing on for 6 times throughout the day. Well, that's something we would never ever do. And I'm very proud of our schedule, despite the complaints of repeats, which are minimal, I assure you. Then it could be, catching up with we don't have any influence on the airtime sales, which is in a real state of decline at the moment. Terrestrial free-to-air channels are only funded by advertising, and it's getting a bit of a sticky situation, I'm not going to lie. So it may be that we get a little bit involved in that. Noel will have his flatbed out. It's in the office all day, so he'll be looking through reels that have been sent in or ideas for programming. He'll be researching films or researching series, trying to find out the chain of title, because when you're working with stuff of a certain age, trying to trace back who owns that film or series now is really difficult. And it's amazing how much British series and productions are owned by the States, and of course they won't sell us one film or one series when we finally found who owns it. They want a massive, huge bulk deal put together.
Yeah, I remember, I think, is it the TVS archive or something, which you would think, that's British, and it's like, no, it's owned by Disney or something. It's very
Disney
strange.
own a huge amount.
Yeah.
Huge amount of British production.
So when the channel first launched, you were mostly, was it fair to say mostly old films, and then more and more TV series started to creep in until now it's kind of like a hybrid of both?
Yes, it's a complete
and alongside that, you've evolved kind of strands of programs, like on Friday nights, for instance, you have the Cellar Club with horror-themed films.
She is just the nicest woman to work with in the world ever, which she will laugh if she hears this, because I'm always telling her off, because whenever I ask her, what was so-and-so like to work? Oh, lovely. Oh. What was so-and-so like to work? Oh, lovely. I was like, one day you're going to say, actually, he was a right shocker. But she's never said it yet, bless her.
Yeah, I heard nothing but good things about Caroline. But you also have things like you would have afternoon westerns. You have the Saturday morning pictures club.
Love the Saturday morning pictures.
It's a 3-hour block every Saturday morning.
It is, and then it's evolved now. So not only is it, always makes me laugh because people ring in and go, I don't think children should be watching this. And I kind of have to tell them there are no children watching our Saturday morning pictures 9 to 12. These are the kids that were the kids then that are watching it. Now they're in their 60s and 70s. So it always makes me chuckle a little bit. So that's evolved a little bit. And now, obviously, we're playing more and more Anderson productions after it.
Yeah.
Mixed in with things like One Step Beyond, which I think is a fabulous series.
Yeah, you've got a really midday sci-fi movie as well, and it's normally something like Attackers from Planet X or something.
Yeah. If it's got strings, I buy it, because it's just brilliant. I mean, we've played Plan 9 from Outer Space, but that's not the best example of the worst film ever. But our 12 o'clock film slot is normally so bad, it's hilarious.
Yes, whereas the 4 a.m. sci-fi films tend to be the really wretched ones. I'm not saying that I've got some recorded on the hard drive at home, and I'm sort of not looking at them.
On your Betamax.
Yes, things like, Killings at Outpost Zeta.
I love that film.
I've seen bits of it.
Personal favourite of mine, actually, that one.
Life
Force.
Life Force is a classic, We're getting off the Anderson track here. We're just going
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I'm as much guilty of that as you, because we're just going to geek out about life force and wonderful things otherwise. So let's head on over to our Space 1999 lunchbox, where we have, isn't it nice? Yes. This was sent to us, was this sent to us from America?
Yes.
By one of our loyal viewers, yes. As you can see, we have a lot of questions in here.
Oh my
So if you'd
goodness,
like
this is
to
like the post bag at
reach
Talking
in.
Pictures every day.
yes.
Well, that's the other thing we do every day, open the post.
Ah, yes.
We're a bit old-fashioned like that.
We don't get as much post, but we have had some nice things, yes.
Good. Right. So this is from a David Hollis. Is there a Gerry Anderson show that you are fond of that has not yet been shown on TPTV, Joe90?
Ah, now we're talking.
Supercar.
Yes.
I'd love to play Supercar.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Don't tell anyone. I set my day by the Anderson series that you show, and I tell as many people as I can, good man, where to see them. Keep up the great work. Oh, isn't that lovely?
That's lovely, yeah. Do you get much feedback
Yes.
about the Anderson stuff specifically?
Yeah. I mean, funnily enough, me saying no kids are watching, what has been lovely is people, especially on Twitter, I don't know if you look at our Twitter feed on a Saturday, but it's so lovely, people sending pictures of their animals watching the Anderson show,
yes.
which I love. And also the grandkids. So we do get a younger vibe for those series, but obviously the black and white Saturday morning picture stuff. Although I'd like to think a few might tune in for the Children's Film Foundation film, maybe. But they're, the highest I go in that is 70s. So, but yeah, we definitely get it. I think we are bringing Anderson stuff to a younger audience.
Because it's not really got any. I don't think it's been on television since sort of mid to late 2000s, at least not regularly. So it has been away from airwaves for quite a long time, surprisingly so, in fact. It's on a lot of the streaming services.
Oh, it'll be everywhere now we've done it.
Yeah. What sort of ratings does it pull in compared to other shows that you're running?
Well, our highest running show is the Footage Detectives on a Sunday, the one we make ourselves. That can beat even Rebecca.
Wow.
Or Notorious, some of the big classic films, which always surprises me in a nice way because I love making that show. But yeah, no, good. I won't give too much away.
No.
But yeah, no, really, really pleased with what we're pulling in with those.
Because it's some shows you show where I'm assuming they must be doing fairly well for you. I'm thinking of shows like Gideon's Way and Public Eye.
I could play that all day long.
And I could watch that all day long.
And Public Eye.
Yes.
Don't tell anyone because someone else is going to try and buy it now.
Oh, no, we don't want that. More questions in here for you.
Yeah,
Let's see what else we've got.
Right, what's this one? Jonathan Bell, what film or TV series have you been most pleased that you got to show on Talking Pictures? Got to be Thunderbirds.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that was a massive scoop for us. And we will be buying more. People keep asking me, are you going to get some more episodes? I absolutely will get some more episodes when there's enough money in the tin.
Yes.
Film or TV? Family at War.
All right,
I was really excited to bring that back. Dad and I were thrilled, in fact, when we first brought it back about 6 or 7 years ago, and we've just relicensed it again, so that starts again soon.
That's starting the end of the month, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Dixon and Doc Green.
Oh, yeah.
So pleased with that. Although we wanted to start with the early Brian Blessed black and whites, wobbly sets. And I'm hoping, we're still in negotiations on those, so hopefully we'll play them at the end of the current run of the newer episodes.
Nice.
I could go on, but yeah, they probably be Gideon's Way, as I said, is always a favourite with mine. It's just so well written.
Yeah.
Really well written. Travelling Man was quite a surprise for me. Roger Marshall's series. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It hasn't quite got the audiences it deserves, I would say, so hopefully on a repeat it will do better. So get behind that, folks.
Yes, that was one I meant to start watching, and for some reason I never got round to hitting series link on it.
Most of the UK, it seems.
Yes, but there'll always be another chance. That's what's great about Talking Pictures. I mean, you mentioned, the question mentioned the Anderson shows. Was there any particular reason that XL5 was the first one to be on the channel? Dad's favourite. There we go. Perfect explanation. Yeah.
That and that he sings the theme tune constantly. And, he'll be on the phone and all of a sudden I can hear him go... Du, 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 du. In fact, Mike Reed and him did a duet.
Was that on the Footage Detectives?
It was on the Footage Detectives.
I think I may have seen that, yes.
I had to shorten it a little bit.
Whenever you're ready, we can have another question. We have, I don't know if you want to take a handful, maybe just to keep you going.
Oh, hello. Right. Rich Goodborn. Hope I've said that right, Rich.
Yep.
Really sorry if I didn't. Will we get to see the full series of Fireball Exile 5, Stingray and Thunderbirds instead of stopping at 13 episodes in? Well, Rich, I might start a GoFundMe and you are welcome to chip in. Yeah, absolutely. I think I said that earlier, didn't I? Yeah, we will buy more. We're just keeping it all fresh.
Yeah. So is there any way that our viewers or indeed channel viewers can sort of help raise that money essentially needed?
Spread the word. Just spread the word, because bums on seats equals advertising being watched. Come to an event.
Yeah.
Ticket sales really help us. Buy a badge.
Yes.
And anything like that. Subscribe to our magazine. We do a brilliant magazine. Jamie's got an article coming up, I think. Intermission, it's called. Catchy title.
Yes.
That really helps us. That's not had a year yet. We're just coming up to issue 11. But all those little things, download the app.
Yeah.
We've
buy
got
the
a brilliant
DVD
catch-up.
film collections that you do.
DVDs.
Yes.
Poor old DVDs.
Aww.
Sad state of affairs. But yeah, anything like that really helps. I'm joking about the GoFundMe page, by the way. I won't actually.
Anderson viewers, if it gets it on the TV, they probably would. Yes.
Jonathan Westall, out of all the Gerry Anderson shows you've been viewing on Talking Pictures TV, which one was the hardest for you to acquire for viewing on the channel? All of them. They were all quite difficult.
So how long had you been trying to get those?
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been difficult.
So that's negotiating with ITV, isn't it?
Yeah. Although some we bought direct, obviously, and we're hoping to do more of that. Are you listening, Jamie Anderson? I'm sure you are. Paul Hyde, will you be showing Joe 90 anytime soon?
Your favourite Joe 90.
Newsflash. Working on it.
Ooh.
We do a free newsletter, actually, goes out every Sunday that Dad and I write. So you can just visit the Talking Pictures website and log on and get the free newsletter. And that's where we announce things well in advance of the trailer being on the air. So worth doing.
Yes, it's always great to see those trailers coming up, even if it's for a non-Anderson show. It's always like,
I'm very proud of my trailers.
Yeah. Oh, you're the one who cuts those, are you? Oh, fantastic. Yes.
Paper cut. I've got an editor chap that helps me.
Oh, brilliant. So, is there anything aside from the Anderson shows that you personally would really like to see come on the channel?
Good question. I mean, I think the channel is going to have to evolve in some way as our audience gets younger. So it may mean that we have to branch into more 80s and 90s stuff eventually.
I mean, it's always almost a shock to me when I see a trailer come up and the copyright is like 2000. It's like, what? That's far too recent.
20 odd years ago, I mean, I get complaints constantly. If I play something from 1979, people, it's too new.
It's in colour.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Is there something I think probably my biggest project would be the Z-Cars black and white episodes, and some more Dixon and Doc Green.
But you are always sort of working behind the scenes trying to get more. I believe recently there was some kind of tweet or comment somewhere in relation to the William Gaunt thing about a certain Sergeant Cork.
Sergeant Cork,
yes.
I will be thrilled if we get that. Working on
Fingers
it.
crossed, yes.
I'd really like to play This Is Your Life.
This Is Your Life.
I'd love to play those. Yeah. The originals.
Yes.
But, of course, when they made them all that time ago, there was no such thing as clearance forms.
No.
And so they're very wary, the owners, of us licensing them because nobody signed a clearance form to say, yes, you can play it in 50 years' time.
I mean, I know there are This Is Your Life's with Anderson actors in. I think there's an amazing one with George Sewell, and there's a clip of Gabrielle Drake turning up to that in her UFO costume, the full gear, and it's lovely, and it's just want to see the rest of it. But
Gabrielle Jake's the one in The Brothers, isn't she?
that's
she
another
is.
one that I forgot to set the series link
Oh,
for
how
and regret
rude.
it. So
Yeah.
yes,
Do set the link for that.
whenever
She's
that comes
brilliant.
around again, yes, I would like to see that.
Do you want another one,
Yes,
Jen?
let's have another couple more questions, and then we'll call it a day for this week.
Okie dokie. So, Button Moon Hannah. I love Button Moon.
Oh yes,
I've still got my wooden spoon that I... Ridiculous,
Was it
really, isn't
the little spaghetti tin as well that they used to travel in?
And the
yeah.
upside down fairy up liquid.
Yeah.
I love. And I've still got my recipe for Button Moon biscuits.
Oh, classic.
Which is basically shortbread with 2 holes in, but who knew? Firstly, I want to say, so Button Moon Hannah, sorry Hannah, I digress. Firstly, I just want to say that Talking Pictures is a remarkable channel. Thank you. And thank you for playing Anderson's wonderful shows. Pleasure. Will there be a possibility that we'll see any one of the 2 Thunderbirds feature films? Good question. Thunderbirds I'll Go and Thunderbirds 6. Possibly, yeah. I wouldn't say no. Yeah,
Because they
I'd love
used to
play
be
them.
shown quite a bit on Film 4,
Ooh,
and then they
maybe
lost the
not then.
rights to one of them, and then they lost the
Right.
rights to the other one. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's Universal who might own those now.
That could be tricky.
Yeah.
Simon Frisbee. Hi, Sarah. Firstly, thanks for Talking Pictures, a little haven in these crazy times. I love that. I do feel like it is a bit of a comfort blanket, our channel, and I love that people do too. I was wondering, can you tell us about how you go about getting the rights to something you want to broadcast? I think I've just said that, Simon. Is it ever easy? No. Or can it just be banging your head against a wall? Oh, Simon, I think you've got a camera into my office.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it can be. Can be very, very tricky.
I'm guessing there's also, to a certain extent, you kind of have to take on films and shows that you otherwise wouldn't be interested in
Just to
from
get the
time
ones
to time.
that we wanted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there are
yeah.
some things that I've watched on there. I mean, I watched all 39 episodes of, is it Dangerous Assignment?
Oh, I quite
With Brian
like that.
Donlevy. I was
It was a
enjoying
bit-
it on its level of, oh God, they've only got 3 sets and
I was just
the
gonna
same
say,
actors are
the
turning up over and over
revolving
again. It's
sets.
like,
and here we are in
yeah.
Italy.
Yes.
And then they're in Russia. And I'm like, I'm sure that was the same restaurant in
with
Italy 3
a
episodes
very
ago.
wide train set and such. Yeah, but it's like...
He didn't
it's-
actually go on any dangerous assignments.
No, very rarely. But I'm inclined to sort of stick with them, partly because it's knowing that I wouldn't get the chance to see any of this stuff, for one thing, without you guys, and also just to support the channel generally.
Thank you.
And I know I'm not alone in that, because it's a very important channel for an awful lot of people. And we'll talk more about that next week.
Ooh.
But will you come back next week and
I'd love
have a bit
to.
more of this chat?
Thank
more
you
of our
very
questions?
much.
Brilliant. Thank you. Sarah Cronin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Sarah Cronin.
Lovely, Sarah.
She was
Cronin.
fun, wasn't
yes,
she?
Yes.
That was good.
Lovely
Yeah.
stories
Yeah,
there.
amazing. They set up a business in their own backyard, literally.
Yep. With no guarantee that it's going to be a success.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
And yeah, it just grows and grows and grows, and you get the celebrity endorsement as well behind it, which is
Here they are,
great.
10 years later, still going
Yeah.
strong, from strength to strength.
Yeah.
So you'll be hearing more from Sarah next week, I understand, Chris?
I think so.
Is she
yes.
going to come back?
Well, she said she would, so I think she will.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can contact us here at the podcast at gerryanderson.com. Also, I think we're on all the socials still, aren't we? Don't really talk about
we're on
that these
Instagram
days.
Yeah.
and TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on Blue Sky now.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So just search probably Gerry Anderson or Gerry Anderson TV or official
Yeah.
Gerry Anderson, things like that, and you'll find us, no doubt. And that's another great place to tell us your thoughts and comments about anything Gerry Anderson related.
Anything at all.
But in the meantime, let's hear what those podsterons have been emailing us in, shall we?
Those pesky podsterons.
Here they come now.
This is the voice of the Podsterons.
We love our podsterons.
We do.
Don't we? They keep us company throughout the darkest and coldest of nights.
Yes.
Don't they? Sending in their emails, sometimes sending their physical letters,
Yeah.
sometimes even a Christmas present.
And some
We
chocolates.
like those.
We
yeah.
do
They're
like
very
those.
tasty, those.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But in the meantime, Chris, do you want to read out the first one there?
Yes, this one begins. Hello, chaps.
Hello.
Hello.
Hope you are all well.
Reasonably well. I had a
Yeah.
slight back issue a couple of weeks ago,
Oh,
but that
no.
seems to be easing now.
Sitting next to this guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What could be better? I'm just listening to Pod 346, and Simpsons Clips asked if the information he'd found on the BFI website suggesting that Gerry was involved in Ray Harryhausen's Odysseus project was true. Jamie, wherever you are, you didn't think so, and I can confirm that your instinct was correct.
Aha.
Despite both Lavender Castle and Odysseus being CPI productions and based at Cosgrove Hall, Odysseus came a little later, and whilst Gerry was still in touch with the company, he wasn't involved in the project.
I see.
But it would have been fun if he was.
Yes.
Hope this helps. Keep up the good work. And that's from Chris Bowden.
It does help. I love it when Podsterons chat to each other via the medium of the podcast. It's quite fun,
Chris Bowden, of course, worked on Lavender Castle back in the day. So,
that's right. Yes, previous podcast guest as well. Dear Richard, Jamie and Chris, says Alex Patrick. Oh yes, this is quite a fun one. In regard to this week's episode of Supercar, which we watched a few weeks back on the Randomiser, gloating is indeed a big part of a criminal's psychological profile. So there was a character who basically gave the whole plot away by telling our heroes exactly what he was going to do and gloating about it.
Stopped at the call box.
Yes, and I suggested that was probably not a wise thing to do. But American psychiatrist James Gilligan, in his book of Violence, Reflections on Our Deadliest Epidemic, published by Jessica Kinsley, UK 2000, makes a case study on a man he calls Ross L., who murdered his former classmate during a ride home that she'd offered him as his car was broken. Mechanical expertise was important to Ross L. as a means of proving his adequacy, but at the time he was unable to pay the mechanic to rebuild his engine, so by accepting his former classmate's offer for a ride, he was effectively admitting that he lacked both the money and mechanical skills for himself, stimulating him to murder her out of fear of being perceived as a weakling. He was caught after attempting to impress an acquaintance by bragging about it. Essentially, turning to crime was the only way he knew how to facilitate self-confidence after a lifetime of feeling ridiculed. Take care, Alex Patrick.
That's brought the room down.
Quite a left field comment coming in there.
Thanks for that, Alex. That's really
Do
boyish
share
stuff,
your
isn't it?
murder tips at podcast@gerryanderson.com.
But interesting, so maybe there is psychological evidence for someone
And did
gloating.
any criminals ever gloat about things in space precincts like that?
Oh,
Or
gosh,
must
I'm
have?
sure there must have been a few gloaters
None
in
of them
there.
certainly called up the station and said, "Listen,
No,
I've-"
never went quite that far, but I bet word on the street got out. If
Oh,
someone
yeah,
was-
definitely.
Of course it did, yeah. And Ross, one from you.
Okie dokie, this one's from Penquilla.
Uh-huh.
Dear Jamie, Richard and Chris. Well,
And
I'm
Ross.
Jamie
Jamie,
today,
yeah.
it's fine. I have just returned from a trip to New Zealand where I went to meet my friend and fellow Thunderbirds fan, Serena. We originally got to know each other online through writing Thunderbirds fan fiction more than 20 years ago and have since become firm friends despite living on opposite sides of the globe. One of the fun things we did during my visit was to go ziplining at Keikura.
Wow.
I think that might be the
That's good.
pronunciation.
That sounds great, yeah.
Here, the zip lines are laid out in pairs so two people can zoom down side by side. The instructor starts you off with a countdown. So on each run, the pair of us launched ourselves off shouting, "Thunderbirds are
Of
go."
course they
Very
did.
apt.
Yes,
Nice.
of course.
Also in our ziplining party was a couple, the man in his late 50s and their teenage daughter. He heard our shouts and turned out to be an ex-Brit who had emigrated to New Zealand 30 years ago, but had loved watching Gerry's shows when he was young. In fact, he told us his choice of career in the submarine service of the Navy was partly inspired by Troy Tempest and Gordon Tracy.
Of course.
well,
It's
nice.
lovely to
Yes.
hear that. Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Absolutely.
But he told me with great regret that once he had left home for the Navy, aged 16, his mother had thrown out all his old Thunderbird toys.
Oh, no.
So he was very happy to learn that I'd heard on the podcast only the week before that Corgi would be bringing out a new set of models for the 60th anniversary.
Yep.
And if he wanted the TV21 stories, then the Stingray comic anthologies had just come out.
Yes.
And we're expecting the same treatment for Thunderbirds this year.
Oh, are we?
Well, there's no reason not to expect
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Come on, Jamie.
Yeah, all right.
I told him to look up the Gerry Anderson store, so don't be surprised if we get a rash of orders from New Zealand this year. We'll
Amazing.
be making an expat Brit very happy.
Well done.
That's a very nice
Well,
story.
that's
Yeah,
great.
thank you for that.
Yeah, but what would you shout as you launched yourself off on Zipwire, do you think?
Well, I thought, full boost vertical is the cry they use on Supercar when the ship's taking off.
Very
But,
nice, yeah,
I mean,
that's really
stand by for action, but that might jinx it a bit.
Flaming Thunderbolts.
Flaming Thunderbolts, yeah.
Yes, that would work, wouldn't it?
Expect
Yeah.
unexpected.
In the next half hour. Very good. Keep your emails coming in. We love to read them. Maybe we'll read out yours next week. podcast@gerryanderson.com. In the meantime, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a little earlier on, Sarah Cronin very kindly pressed the big red button on the randomizer to see what we were going to watch this week.
Yes.
Shall we see what she chose for us?
I think
Yes.
we should.
Sarah.
Are we ready, guys? It's randomizer time. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Sarah. Well done. Very well pressed, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Through the black and white
Oh,
stuff
yes.
already.
Into colour, Stingray
Colour
Thunder.
puppets.
Oh,
No, we just keep
no,
going.
we are keeping on going.
Oh,
Aha!
There we are.
It's my favourite, the Protectors.
Yes.
I love the Protectors.
You're enjoying it more and more, aren't
I
you?
really am, yes. I'm growing into it. Ross, can you tell us everything you know about the Protectors in 3 seconds or less?
Robert Vaughn stars as Harry
Stop.
Rule.
Very good. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Specs on. Burnham Beaches. Oh, no doubt.
You recognise those
Course.
trees?
Well, that was your back garden.
I wish. Hello, someone's in trouble.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's been mashed up a bit, and the dogs are after him.
Dogs are after him, yeah. It's not good for this guy. Oh, no.
This way. You over there. Search the woods.
I say, who's that?
Yes, there are some familiar faces in this one.
Good. Oh, this is very distressing, isn't it?
Some quite aggressive-looking doggies.
Nice autumnal colours as well.
Isn't it?
Another reason I'd love to see this in HD, because
Yes.
so much of this location film just looks great.
And they just happen to be driving through.
On a jaunt.
Yeah. Touch of the Stanley onwards about that chap.
Yeah.
Oh, he's rolling down a...
A gentle
No.
incline.
It's all terrible and disaster scraping for
It's all gone downhill for him.
Oh, wow.
That's a hook, isn't it? Yeah.
They're very good at this on the Protectors, aren't they?
Yeah.
The pre-title sequence are often quite gripping.
They don't
More
waste
gripping than the
time
episode itself.
getting around to the meat of the story.
Yeah. That's
Is
very
there
good.
an episode where that bridge blows up, or is that stock?
That comes from a film, and we
does.
covered that fairly
Yes.
recently on Fab Facts.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a clip from Russia
this
with Love as well.
helicopter, which we've already had, that's from Russia with
Yeah.
Love.
Oh,
And the woman swimming underwater is from something, but no one's identified that.
Right. Chase.
Chase.
Excellent.
Patrick
McGee. I see.
And there is also in Patrick McGee's gang, Brian Clements.
Brian Clements, yeah.
In Patrick McGee's gang is a Space Precinct guest actor.
What? Don't tell me.
I'll wait
See if I can
to
guess.
see if you can spot him. Yes.
Well, I approve.
They come for a nice weekend away, have they?
Yeah.
They have. Look, little Airbnb.
Well, they've been doing a lot of protectoring recently.
Yeah,
they need
fair
to
enough.
take a break.
He doesn't look well, does he? No. This is reminding me of an episode of Frasier already. You know when they go to the lodge?
Not seen it.
You still approve?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I love the old place. My father loved it too. He used to bring my brother and I down here every season, taught us to shoot.
Oh.
They're some of my happiest memories.
Did he shoot your brother?
That's him stuffed on the floor.
Sometimes I was Robin Hood, and sometimes I was a great big ferocious lion. And we always used to end up at Bobby's Tower.
Bobby's Tower?
Yes, it's a tower. It's about 2 miles from here, due north. You can't quite see it.
Bobby's Tower?
Bobby's Tower. Sounds like a song from the 60s.
Head for the tower and stay there.
Good advice. Worth remembering.
Plot points.
Word to the wise.
Yes.
I know he would have liked you. You want a drink?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's been at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Cup of tea.
No, something stronger, I think.
Oh, no. Oh, I knew it. The keeper brings in the provisions, but he always forgets to restock the liquor cabinet.
I mean, it looked like there was plenty in there to me.
There was a full top shelf, but yeah.
I'll run down to the stores. Why don't you take a look at the gun rack?
Oh, okay.
You fancy doing some shooting?
Yes.
It sounded like she almost forgot her line there.
Why do you look at
the gun rack?
Oh.
What's the word?
There's a gun there.
Oh.
That's touching, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
She's
a
given him a
birthday
gun.
episode. Yeah. Well, he does do a lot of shooting, so
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
come in handy. It's the best birthday present I ever had. Oh.
Oh. Nice.
The
See him in the
Injured
mirror.
Man. Yeah, it's nicely set up.
That's very good.
creative. He's here to restock the...
Yes. Yes. The liquor cabinet.
I'm not sure the bright yellow cushions quite match the
Yeah, fair
decor
enough.
of the place.
Oh, I mean, it's,
Found
okay.
him. What do I get?
I mean, so far it's full of coincidences. They happen to be holidaying
Yes.
in the very place where a mystery is unfolding. He happens to have a copy of the newspaper. They happen to have stumbled across the house.
Fire control station about.
Look, please, just go.
Take this gun. I'll be as quick as I can.
If it really hurts, you can shoot yourself. Oh,
there we go.
Pow. Is that still Robert Vaughan? That's the question.
Well, he did a lot of his own fights, but
we're only seeing him from behind, apart from those.
Yeah. Oh, no. Is it?
It is. Blooming is, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
close.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should play the birthday card, really. You know, you can't kill me, it's my birthday.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I don't think I've yet seen a fight scene like this in The Protectors yet.
I like the way the guy who actually has the gun is completely out of it. Yeah, we still don't know what's going on, do we? What was the headline on the newspaper? Did you see that?
Missing
diplomat
diplomat.
still missing or something like that, yes.
Oh.
They blasted him over to the studio.
Yeah, yes.
He's on the set of UFO.
Yes.
Dogs find them. You're a fool, Cat.
It's the wrong missing diplomat.
Never underestimate your quarry. I'll tell Wilma to get the truck, get him back. And you, get this place cleaned up again.
Okay, still waiting to see the Space Precinct guest actor.
Well, you've seen him in
briefly.
the group, but I don't know if you need a big close-up on him, really.
Yeah.
Oh, such a nice jacket as well.
Yeah, what a shame.
That's him behind Patrick McGee there. On the right of frame now.
It's very quick, isn't it?
Yeah. You might know him better from Doctor Who.
Oh. Is it Clive Merrison?
It's not Clive Merrison, no. Alas, I don't think he was ever in The Protectors.
Our quarry has been hit, gentlemen.
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah?
But I don't know his name.
Ah.
I can't remember what he played in Space Precinct. He was a sort of a lawyer or something, or a... I can see him in a suit.
Yes.
Christopher something? No. Somebody Chabon, is that right?
Tom Chadbond.
Chadbond.
Yes.
Right.
Who was Duggan in City of Death.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think he gets much to do in this beyond just kind of wander around.
Yeah, fair enough.
Still notable.
I love that. You should have smoke coming out of those, really.
He's taken to the water, trying to throw the trail.
Check the other side.
I think you'd probably see through that ruse, wouldn't you, if you were
Yes.
stalking somebody and found a pair of shoes by the river?
So perfectly placed.
Yeah. The big arrow pointing, I went that way.
Work your way down river.
You see, I get the thing with Protectors. Not a lot is happening here, but what is happening is all done so stylishly.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's nicely directed, nicely shot. Performances
the
are all fine.
location stuff helps enormously.
Yeah.
This stuff would look terrible in a studio.
Yeah.
They worry me. The boots.
That sounds like his ringtone. Hello?
You go on with the man I'll cut.
That's quite a line. They worry me, the boots.
Yeah.
Fool this, he'll double back to the road. And I'll be waiting.
I didn't detect much of an accent in his first scene. That's odd.
No.
Here we are, Contessa.
Thank you, Bromeld.
Always a pleasure. Rye bourbon.
And I have a feeling that this guy must have been in the series before as a waiter or something, because he
Right.
was always those kinds of roles.
It's very odd. Where is this set?
I don't know.
I
Because
assumed
she's
it was
talking
in the rolling English countryside.
Yeah, because
but
she
now,
mentions her father and brother and that.
But this looks like a taverna somewhere, doesn't
yeah.
Yeah, almost kind of Scandinavian, even.
Oh, well,
the,
who knows?
the lodge type thing.
Gromel, okay. It's just generic Europe forest, I guess.
it? Yeah. I'm just walking about with a massive gun.
Yes. Seen any diplomats anywhere?
Yeah,
Yeah, now this is back in the studio.
Is it though? Yeah, it must be, mustn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's still a decent set
It's
for
not bad
a
at all.
studio forest, but
I wonder what made them decide how to do it, whether to do it on location or in the studio, what the defining...
It might be that they just ran out of time for some things, maybe, or...
There's always a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it? Because they could have done this on location.
Or maybe they were underrunning or something.
Yeah, and maybe it's just a question of light and time.
Free money.
Love it.
Someone's about to get clobbered.
Yeah.
Don't pick it up. Why would you do that? Oh, you hit me on my back, therefore I am now unconscious.
Yes. And he fired his gun, of course, to alert everybody else.
This way.
Oh, no. He's on the gun. So the Contessa has now returned to the lodge.
I've got the booze. Oh.
Great.
She's been driving with one hand all the way and had the others wrapped around her. I mean, 3 bottles is not going to last the two of them all that long, considering what we see in the rest of the series.
No, that's a night in.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
we're out shooting
Gone out to
things
shoot someone.
already. Ah.
Oh, eh?
Ooh.
What the? Oh, no, no, no.
That
Very,
doesn't
very
stand.
quick cutting for
Yeah.
60s, 70s TV.
Didn't like that much at all.
No.
Well, I see where they were going with it. What
Oh,
they
I
were
see what they were
do,
trying to... But I think a simple zoom or just a cutaway to the HR and the gun and her looking would be enough.
I think that was a director going, oh, wouldn't it be cool if...
Yeah. Tell you what I did on my last job that might come in useful here.
Fine sport.
All right, just happens to have a hunting horn on him.
Of course
he does. Here come the dogs.
Well, they'll be there for ages because Harry Rule's back out of the studio now.
Yes.
So there's something a bit... Is it Most Dangerous Game where someone's being hunted on an island or something?
Oh, yeah. From about the same time, is it? Or
I think it's probably earlier.
Very well. Just one.
Okay.
Get me good and drunk before I start shooting things.
That's a weird kind of shop, restaurant, bar kind of thing, isn't it?
Or the one table.
Yeah.
Ow. She's in such a hurry to save him that she missed out on saving him.
Yeah. Oh, God, I thought we'd have another one of those cuts.
Please say he's going to drive off in their car.
No, I think he's going to try and set fire to it, isn't he?
Petrol time, yeah.
Grunk. Oh, careful.
I think we're building up to an explosion here. Yeah. Ooh.
That was a really good throw.
Yes. Yeah, considering he's behind a tree, like
yeah,
20 metres away.
He just blew up his only chance of escape, really. He might have been able to
Sure
drive
enough,
away.
he could have just got in the thing.
But protects his style over...
Yeah,
you know.
over substance and sense. Oh, is that Bobby's Tower?
Bobby's Tower.
Yes.
And it's shut today.
I wonder where this is then. Is that back in the studio and they've just built the
studio.
base?
Yeah.
Difficult to know, isn't it?
I want to...
Contessa, you've forgotten something?
Yes. Yes, I forgot to ask you where you got that gun.
The gun.
It's not a great plan to go and confront an armed man.
Yeah.
Gun you've got, you
No.
dangerous person. Where have you got it?
Harry sold you that gun.
Sure, you know how it is. We struck a bargain.
When did he sell it?
Oh, I don't remember exactly.
But it wasn't today.
No, some time ago.
Ha!
Ah, gotcha.
Gotcha.
I gave that gun to Harry this morning as a birthday present.
And you didn't get him anything. Oh, no.
Oh! There, I've ripped the telephone from the wall.
Is that a sledge on the floor?
I think they sell just about everything but postcards.
Yeah.
But it sounds as though we're getting close.
You mean that's Harry they're hunting out there?
You brute.
Yeah,
Very good. Subverting a
move.
trope there.
Yes.
Like it.
Yeah, she rarely falls into the damsel category,
Yeah,
which is good.
You still got that horse?
Yes.
Is the saddle still in the same place?
Yes, Countess.
Can you take care of him?
With pleasure.
I'm going to get that horse. I'm going to find Harry.
I like company.
Oh,
Slightly
say no more.
Weird.
Is that really Nairi Dawn Porter on the horse?
I wonder.
Because it was her in the close-up, but that looked like it might be in the studio.
Yeah, well, she's certainly of a vintage where, you know, many actors did know how to ride horses in those days because so much of their work required it.
Harry!
Bobby's Tower. I also wonder if there's any significance in it. Bobby's Tower, Robert Bobby.
I see.
I was right about your father.
I wonder where that tower is in real life,
Yeah,
where they
we can
filmed
look it
this.
up.
I'd be interested to know.
Yeah,
Harry, let it go.
How did you find me?
we could have a field trip.
There's a house about a mile away.
So little has been explained yet.
I'm sure an explanation is coming.
I think, is that sometimes the case in The Protectors, though?
It's slightly ambiguous.
Sometimes it's a big mystery right until...
Yeah.
Hunting accident. Hunting accident? Shotgun. He's lost a lot of blood. Can you call the nearest doctor?
Oh, no need for that. The man who lives here is the doctor.
Oh, will you call him, please?
Well,
He's out for the moment, but he should be back soon.
I don't trust her.
No?
No.
Call the police.
She's going to lead them straight to him, I think.
Yeah, that's what this is all about, Preston.
The missing diplomat?
The horse being tied up outside might be a giveaway as well.
I'd like to insert the cat from UFO into this scene.
I was just thinking
Fun,
that.
isn't it?
So,
Same
yeah,
angle.
they've getting creative, the camera department.
Yeah.
Some at your lodge.
Harry, that's impossible.
That will be the doctor.
Will it, though? You
Dr.
see.
Patrick McGee.
Pleasure to catch up with you at last.
They've asked me to call the police. Of course I didn't.
Of course.
Wow.
Now they just need Tony Anholt to come
I
and
was just
save
thinking,
them.
yeah, he's their only hope.
Oh, yes.
I don't think he's in this one. Unfortunately, no.
Preston?
Harry, that isn't possible. He was kidnapped in South America.
And brought to Europe where nobody will be looking for him.
Sorry. Involving you.
Tonight, forget about us. How do you feel?
Beacon.
Whereabouts in Europe am I?
It's just ITC land.
We, the freedom fighters, are firm in our resolve. Unless our comrades are freed.
Can I admit now that when you said that Patrick McNee was in this,
Patrick McGee.
well, I thought Henry McGee was in it.
Oh, Henry McGee from...
That's who I was waiting to see
yes.
the Benny Hill show. And the Honeymoon Strands, of course, famously.
Execute an American citizen, Harry Rule, and then the Contessa di Contini. Executions at...
No, Patrick McGee obviously had a long career in his own right, but I have seen him confused with Patrick McNee on more than one
as I just
occasion.
did, yes, that's right.
I think there's a trailer for something out there where it says Patrick McNee, and it's obviously
not.
McGee. It's not.
Oh,
No.
right.
Mr. Preston, what are the chances? I mean, these people, will their demands be met?
No. To do so would be to justify rule by violence.
My death will prove that government cannot be coerced.
Willing to take a risk?
What sort of a risk?
Like having your head...
A bullet type risk. Getting your head blown off. On balance, nah.
As it's your birthday, you can do what you want, birthday boy.
I did blow up a car earlier. That went pretty well.
Yeah.
I've got a taste for it now.
Okay, so I'm going to eat this bullet.
Yes.
If I blow off my own head first...
I can't believe they would have tied it. Where did you find that? Surely they would have searched him before they shackled them.
Well...
Budget cuts.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they were just being generous, didn't want to manhandle him, what with his wound and all.
Or perhaps we should ask, where was he hiding that cartridge?
Trickiest and detonated.
He looks familiar as well. Who's playing the diplomat?
I think he looks a bit like Alfred Burke. He's not, but...
6 hours later.
Then. We should have the formality of a firing squad, but the woman and the American...
A farthing squad?
For the cause, Vent.
For the cause.
And neat.
Stepped across a cult or something.
Yeah.
Even she isn't entirely on
No.
board with it.
There's always a worm that turns, isn't there, in these stories? What about those... Oh, I was just about to say, wouldn't a box of matches come in handy?
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go. She got it first time.
Okay. So, having heard the gunshot, Patrick McGee's going to think that the job has been done.
Tom
isn't he?
Chapman's in. Oh. Well, this cuts into my drinking time.
Oh, thanks.
I'll be back to finish that.
Another wrestling rematch.
Oh,
dear.
Nasty.
Ah, 2 shots.
Yeah.
Fine. They're both dead.
No need for a firing squad.
No.
I'll have my breath.
Yes. I'm sure there was more in there than that.
Tell Vent to bury them. I'm going out, but I'll be back in time to deal with Person. You'll never make it.
No.
My men are all around the place. You won't get far.
I don't intend to leave. Call the police.
Shoulder hurting.
Don't try it. Don't.
A spot of brandy works wonders on that shoulder.
Very well.
Oh, no, I don't know. I think if I had a rifle and a man with a broken shoulder or an injured shoulder had a rifle, I think I'd fancy my chances against him. I don't think I'd give up quite that easily.
You'd make the leap for him, would you?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't put my rifle down.
I think Harry would shoot if he did that. I think he's Harry Rule.
Yeah.
He'd protect himself.
He's not well, though. Look, you see?
Wobbly vision is
no,
coming
no.
in.
Ah, you see? Oh, slap. Oh, 2.
Hey, whoa.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
No messing around. Oh, the blood smearing on the wall as
Impact
well.
cracks, that's quite effective.
You all right?
You don't mess with the Countess.
Right. I bet some jokes were made on set about that.
Thank goodness the tower had some role in the story, otherwise this would look totally out of context.
Yeah.
What
Didn't
about
have
the
much of a role in the story, to be fair.
What about the diplomat? Oh, never mind him.
No.
I got a question.
Oh, yes.
What?
Who was Bobby?
Ah, well. Let's just say the tower was modelled on him.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, right.
Ah. So Paul doesn't get an invite to this party.
Okay.
So,
How interesting.
That was Chase.
But we still don't really know who those people were, do we? We only know that they
were revolutionaries
Yeah.
fighting for the cause and
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess they rescued the diplomat since the only one left who hadn't been shot was the daughter. So, yeah, it's probably all right.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed it.
Fairly
I thought,
pacey.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
fair bit of mystery and intrigue.
Tight story.
Yeah.
I think I wish they'd have maybe just wrapped up the diplomat story a little bit
Yes.
more. But I
Maybe they could have invited him to the party afterwards.
I'm only glad that they are 25 minutes.
Yes.
Because sometimes, even then, they seem to struggle to find enough story to fill that out.
But I wonder if it was a 50-minute show, like given the Thunderbirds treatment, I wonder if you would then have the diplomat story. You'd have been able to bring Tony in. You might have had a much more.
But might that slow everything down?
I don't know.
Yeah, do we need to know
Who
the diplomat
knows?
story?
Yeah.
Maybe we do. Yeah, good point.
It's a delicate balance, and I think this show, for the most part, hits it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Marks out of 5, Chris.
Well, I think I'm going to give it a 3 and say it's just slightly above average. It's not the
Yeah,
greatest.
I'll
but
give it a 3
pretty
as
good.
well. Sure.
Okay, well, as far as my Protector's knowledge has gone so far, yeah, I'm going to join you on a 3.
Well, I'm going to put the cat among the pigeons and increase my score to 3.5.
Ah,
Yeah, having
okay.
thought about
So
it.
that's 9.5 out of 15.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah. Podsterons, do you agree? Let us know. Chase from the Protectors. What are your thoughts about that particular episode? Comment below and leave your scores, and maybe we'll have another chat about it next time we meet. In the meantime, you can join us next week for another episode from the Randomiser. Who knows what it'll be?
It's random.
It's random. More emails from our Podsterons, and a second part of your interview with Sarah Cronin next week as well.
Yeah.
All that to look
Wonderful.
forward to.
All good stuff.
Hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Let's get started. Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
I'm just looking up. There's a website that has locations for all of the ITC
for Bobby's
shows.
Tower.
Yes.
I mean, was it shot in the UK, do we think?
I would expect so. So let's see.
Yes.
Protectors.
If it's nearby, I might go and take
Yeah,
a
because
visit.
Pinewood Studios and all of that, they would often go Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, that kind of
Black
way,
Park
wouldn't they?
and
Yeah.
Burnham Beaches and places like that.
Tower of London, that's not it. Tower Pier, that's not it. Tower Bridge, that's not it. So they have only done London locations. So that's no help at all.
Well, that's no help at all, is it?
Sorry.
Podsterons, if you know where Bobby's Tower can be found, let us know, podcast@gerryanderson.com, and let's all have a day trip. Have a picnic in its shadow.
Yeah.
see
And then
if that
some cake.
See if that graffiti really is there. That's some cake. Look forward to it. That was an Anderson Entertainment production.